Emile, such a pleasure to speak with you, especially about Speed Racer. I love this movie, and it's rare for a film to really find its audience every time. And Speed Racer is one of those that just has such a deep connection with people. It's something special to them. What has it meant for you to see this fandom for the film really just keep growing over time, and more people love it today than 5 years ago, and so on?
It's so it really takes me aback. I almost get like emotional thinking about it because it's like, when the film first came out, it bombed. It was panned. It was sort of like considered this big misfire and but it was something that we loved so much. And then to see it organically just over time, whispers, and then it just grew and grew and grew. And I don't, there's like books written in French criticism about why it's a masterpiece. There's if you look up on YouTube why Speed Racer is like the greatest movie ever, there's video after video talking about how it's one of the best films of the century, period. And to have been in a film in 2008 that was received the way it was, and then to have it have this beautiful fate, to me it makes a lot of sense because after the film came out, I said, you know, when Speed Racer was first released, it wasn't this smash hit. It was the cartoon, mind you, was on for like 2 seasons, and it was something that people discovered over time, and it became this massive cult cartoon. It got re-released on Cartoon Network to a whole new generation of viewers, just like me. I grew up on Speed Racer as well. So it makes sense that the movie kind of got this cool, like, this is cool if somebody tells you, not because it's just the movie you have to see. This isn't like the big popcorn movie that you get peer pressured into seeing. This is something that's cool that like people organically tell you that they love. And I've seen audiences of I went to Tarantino's New Beverly Theater when we saw a midnight screening of it probably about 6 years ago. And that was when it really, really dawned on me what was going on, because at the end of the movie, you could hear everybody crying in the theater. You could hear everybody, grown men and women, you could hear them sobbing at the end of the Grand Prix. And and that's when I was like, wow, it's not just the visuals, it's not just the aesthetic, it's not just the racing. The film has an emotional core and a heart that really sticks with people, and I think that is the real reason why Speed Racer is roaring back right now.
Yeah, it's really special. And one of the remarkable things about this movie is it really feels like a live action cartoon, like not just visually, but the performances as well. I know Speed's more of a straight man compared to some of the more wild members of the cast. Everybody's kind of leaning into camp a little bit. How is it just finding the right tone for your performance?
I had watched the Matrix trilogy many times, and I had auditioned for Wachowski's for the kid in Matrix 2 and 3. And I met him a couple of times. I was like 16. I was really young and nervous. I'm like so nervous because Matrix was like my favorite movie. So I've always loved them. And so when I came in, and it was like just seeing that guy that came in those other times. And they're just incredible. They're just incredible. Sorry, what was the first part of your question?
Just how is it finding your performance since it's
Yes.
all a bit
So
camp?
so the because I had worked with them before in the audition process for Matrix 2 and 3, I knew that their protagonists, there's a certain there's a certain soft-spokenness that Keanu has in the Matrix that sort of feels like a very nice, I don't want to say a neutral anchor, but like an anchor to a story with more extreme elements circling. And so I it and their writing is actually incredibly clear. So when I was able to read the sides and sort of imagine, I sort of it was actually kind of it sort of was there. I think it was there for me. I think I mean, I remember when I auditioned for it, I auditioned for it like 3 or 4 times. It was like one of these crazy things where it was like a worldwide casting call, right? It was everyone in the world it was like, even if you weren't an actor, you were going if you were like a dude in Iowa, you were going on tape for Speed Racer in, '07. Um, and so that was cool. And that in a way, the whole auditioning process for Speed Racer was sort of like a competition and a journey in itself, just getting the part, because it was like
Yeah,
everyone was trying to get it. It was cool. It was cool.
yeah, that could be its own film. Emil, thank you so much for your time and congrats on Speed Racer. It's really special.
Thank you, Tyler.